anniversary, 12th anniversary of 9/11 out here on Dundas Square.
My name's Barry Zwicker, and I've been a truther since before noon on the day of 9/11.
My name is Lucas Court, and I came here today to support a reinvestigation about 9/11.
My name is Adnan Zaberi, and I'm part of the Toronto group that's involved with the Rethink 911 campaign.
My name's Graham McQueen, and I'm from Hamilton, which is about an hour's drive from here.
Of course, we all know your name. This is Terry Wilson from CanadianAwareness.org. What are you doing out here in Toronto today?
Out to remember the tragic events of September 11th.
There's a few of us, a half dozen hardcore truthers of Toronto, who have been handing out leaflets, and this is one of them, which we made ourselves, 6 remarkable facts about 9/11, just trying to reach the public, because as you know, Dan, the mainstream media have been complicit in the big lie of 9/11.
So we're handing out leaflets to people. We're trying to get some discussion going and seeing what the responses are like.
And as you see the billboard behind us, for the Rethink 9/11 campaign.
Rethink 911.org campaign with the billboards that have been put up all over the place. What can you tell people about this third tower?
Well, the third tower is World Trade 7, and it was across the street from the North Tower. It was not hit by a plane. It had office fires, but that's about it. Minor structural damage. And at 5:21 in the afternoon, it suddenly came down. It came down rapidly with smooth acceleration at almost free fall into its own footprint, about 6.5, 7 seconds for the entire 47-story building to come down. Now, there's no way a steel frame building has ever come down like that from fire, or in fact from any cause except controlled demolition.
Building 7, it was not hit by any airplane. There were very, very small fires seen in that building.
But buildings don't fall due to fire.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the fires were decreasing, so they had to give them the order to pull it.
We have Silverstein saying that we had to pull it.
Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
People question him about what did he mean by saying we had to pull it, and he said we had to pull the firefighters, and there's no firefighters in that building, from my understanding.
But if this building collapsed, if the story about it is a fraud, the global war on terror is a fraud.
There's no question it was controlled demolition. So who brought the building down?
Building number 7.
What can you tell people about Building 7?
Well, Building 7 was a 47-story structure that came down in free fall speed at 5:20 p.m. on September 11th. And it really was a red herring into the events of those days. It wasn't hit by a plane, had minimal fires, some office fires.
First building that to ever come down due to fire damage, which I find very suspicious too.
It was also a high security building because the largest CIA station outside of Langley was in that building. The FBI had large offices there. The Secret Service had large offices there. And all the Enron files were there. It was also the emergency command center for the city of New York, for gosh sakes.
If it was not hit by an airplane and it came down in free fall speed, a lot of people point to controlled demolition, and that would seem to imply prior knowledge.
But of course, the U.S. government and most of the other governments of the world don't want to go there. Why? Because if it was brought down through controlled demolition, somebody set those charges. And if you admit that, you have to ask, well, how did those towers come down? Because they came down pretty fishy too.
Over here, I think Mike getting interviewed by a Toronto Star reporter.
Talking about the billboard at 9/11 billboard there, Building 7. Maybe in another day or two, she'll be put in the newspaper in Toronto Star, and hopefully I'll keep that paper. It'll probably work, yeah. So,
What was she asking?
she's asking, you affiliated with any group here and stuff like that? I said, we're all a big truth group, and mentioned Toronto Truth Seekers as well, and Press for Truth, and people like that. That's where I get my information.
The billboard's up.
You can see the billboard up in the distance.
Awesome. Billboard's awesome.
Big and effective.
Yeah, biggest thing in the 9/11 truth movement.
Yeah. Exactly.
We know that NIST now admitted in 2007 that that building entered free fall acceleration while it collapsed. What moved that material out of the way? Well, we know that there was nanothermite there. Why didn't NIST check for explosives?
Like smoking gun, 9/11 right there.
So with two major cities like Toronto and New York hitting it off, we hope to make a major impact in the media world on this crucial topic.
Now, you've recently been working on a film all about 9/11.
I directed and produced a film called 9/11 in the academic community. And it's a film that focuses on the university's treatment of critical perspectives of 9/11 and how universities have treated controversial subjects like 9/11 in their corridors. It's basically a taboo subject, and so we explore in that documentary the nature and dimensions of that topic and the type of repercussions that many academics had to go through. I think it was pretty amazing that we won the University of Toronto Film Festival, so we're gaining some attention from the community from which the voices are emanating from, and I'm happy to say that the film is being played in a major Ontario university as a part of curriculum relevant to a course on terrorism studies. So we're making a major impact, and I'm happy to say.
Why do you think it's important for Canadians to know about what happened or didn't happen on that day?
In the whole agenda of globalization, that was a pivotal event. Since then, Canada's gone to war.
We didn't do our own independent investigation of what happened to our citizens that died, and we got carried into the Afghanistan war.
Canada was implicated too in the Iraq War.
And it all stems, like we said, from 9/11. That was the beginning event for all of these wars since then.
This isn't conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact.
Well, I believe it was General Wesley Clark. He was handed a document right before they invaded Iraq that laid out 7 countries that they planned on invading within 5 years.
7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
7 countries in 5 years. The Secretary of Defense gave that memo. It's an astonishing statement.
9/11 was a false flag op.
9/11 is a false flag. What's the purpose?
Go around all the Middle East looking for the boogeyman Osama bin Laden, looking for him all over the place for over 10 years before they actually found him.
We've seen all the terrorism legislation, all the stripping of our rights and freedoms, all because of that one event.
It's a pattern. You have to perhaps use pattern recognition.
So what are some things that people can do?
Do some research, go on forums, try to see if there's anyone in your area.
And just speak to your friends and family. Start in your community around you, just speaking with people and handing out DVDs.
There aren't a whole lot of huge demonstrations with people waving placards coming down the street. A little bit, but not as much as the peace movement, the women's movement. And a lot of it is internet based. If you want to know more about it, you want to get involved, go on the Rethink 9/11 website.
A lot of people still did not know when asking them today that a third tower did fall. So I hope this anniversary everyone does take part and rethink 9/11.
Rethink911.org and Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth have really done a great job in bringing that awareness to the public, and I just want to fully support them any way that I can.
The general mindset towards an investigation is the 9/11 Truth movement.
Richard Gage and David Ray Griffin are spearheading the movement, and they keep saying the next step would be to get it into the court.
Time to really think about it, getting a real investigation.
That's why the campaign's Rethink 9/11. We got the Rethink911.org campaign.
A glimmer of hope, like the clouds are giving us right now. Little silver lining.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
9/11 2013, the 12th anniversary. Rethink 9/11 is the campaign.